Like many professional pilots, I've always been passionate about aviation and I've always found it difficult to explain to people why I love flying so much. I often return to the fact that it's one of the purest forms of escapism. And once the wheels are up and you burst through the clouds, there's nothing you can do about getting more nappies for the fourth child or being in for the Amazon delivery. These things become irrelevant when you're flying because whether you're late or early, you're doing something you love. And when that passion gets taken away, it gets ripped away, it hurts, really hurts. And when I lost my job after 12 years as a regional airline pilot, I could no longer escape the stresses and strains of life in my usual way. Instead, I numbed the pain with overeating, overdrinking, and perhaps one too many family Zoom quizzes. The grieving process of redundancy struck the same chords with me as when a family member died by suicide when I was a young boy. I denied it was ever happening. I was frustrated and angry. I bargained with the guilt that perhaps I could have helped. This was followed by despair, grief, and immense sadness. Then came the acceptance of the loss and the acceptance of hope. I have a loving wife, family, and four rather chaotic young children that I need to care for. And whilst this process has not been easy, I'm aware of so many others in my position in an industry I love who have not had the support they need. We've all been pushed and pulled through this pandemic in different ways, and I have seen this uncertainty as a time for gratitude, a fresh start, and a new hope. In my final years at the company, I was offered a role investigating events and trends from data received from the aircraft's black boxes. I looked at why pilots were perhaps operating the aircraft outside the usual parameters, and it was just natural for me to always start the conversation with, "How are you?" The question usually prompted a flowing and personal narrative of what was actually going on behind the flight deck door. Just as the data analysis had allowed me to unlock the black box's internals, a simple, open question gave me an insight into why pilots were behaving in a certain way. In establishing these relationships, I would find there was always more to it. Someone was having an issue at home, suffering from fatigue or going through relationship problems. In aviation, these human factors, as we call them, can compile and compound to create safety critical failures. That's why, as pilots and cabin crew, we have checklists and procedures to keep ourselves, passengers, and cargo safe on every flight we operate. Naturally, I've always been inquisitive, trying to help people find solutions to their problems, but I've found out that people don't always need answers. They just need to be listened to and be heard. I've created a training organization that encourages communication, fuels connections, and offers a lifeline to those in trouble. At the Black Box approach, we provide training in suicide intervention and mental health first aid. By learning the skills to approach a perhaps uncomfortable subject and listen to someone non-judgmentally, we can help others find support and hope. By equipping people and organizations with these tools, we can unlock the box and perhaps start to break the stigma.